Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Just Seated. I just got back from watching Weapons, movie we have on the letterbox right here. Decided to mix up the video thing. We're just gonna have this just on here, just so we can take a look at some things. But what's going on? I just saw Weapons, and boy, do I have a lot of things to say about it. Let's get straight to it. Should you see this movie or not? So I've only done 3 reviews, right? I've only done 3 reviews so far in this format. I recommended Superman. I did not recommend Eddington, and I was very perplexed with Fantastic Four. I mean, I had a pickle to eat, and it was like it really summed up how I felt about that movie. I will elaborate more on how I feel about Fantastic Four later, but yeah. So I don't know if this is a movie I don't know how to recommend because I liked parts of it. That's why that 3-star rating is right there. But at the same time, this movie was supposed to change my life. As soon as the trailer came out for this movie, I was so excited. It looked so good. I'm a fan of Zach Kreger's other movie. I think he's only made one other movie, Barbarian, which I really enjoy that movie a lot, even though I know some people don't like certain elements of it. But I thought the movie was really entertaining. And so it has some scary moments in Barbarian, but more disturbing than scary, I should really say. But Weapons, dude, from the first trailer, looked incredible. It looked like the horror movie that was going to change everything for me because the premise is just, last night at 2:17 a.m., every child, woke up, got out of bed, went downstairs, opened the front door, walked in the dark, and they never came back. This is a movie you have to see it for yourself because it did not change my life. It should have. I invested a lot of time into this movie. Like I did not realize how excited I was for this, but when it came out, I just saw it. It's I have to say it was a little disappointing. And yeah, but at the same time, there are some cool parts of it, and I'm wondering if maybe even though I think it's disappointing, I think people should still go see it because I'm actually incredibly curious to see what other people will think about this. I want to give also some context too. For those who probably don't know, the script for this movie leaked quite a while ago. I think it leaked all the way back in like June or something. And I gotta tell you, that script was 1-to-1. It was pretty accurate. They did not change much from the script into the to the movie. So I will say I only knew like what happened at the very end and kind of like what the whole mystery was. Those are the only 2 things I knew. There was also some other detail from a dream that I did know, but I don't know if that was enough to sway. Like I don't know if that was enough to make me disappointed in this movie, or if the movie just did that on its own, because there are so many elements that like it's a mystery. It does start as a mystery. You follow all these different characters, and you're like, what the hell happened? This was so creepy. And then as more things get revealed, that in itself does not become disappointing. The revelation of what's happening, who or what is doing this, but what's more disappointing is the fact that there are certain characters that we spend so much time with, and not so much time with because it's actually like a little bit. It's not really an anthology thing, but there are certain characters that we follow and we see what they're doing at one point, and then we see like what they were doing up to that point that led to this event happening. I was like, okay, it's kind of interesting. And then at the very end, it's like the movie just like spits on them and was like, okay, you served zero purpose, even though we followed your story for such a long time. And so that part was a little disappointing. But also, with such elements like the 217 being so not, I don't even want to say iconic because I hope it's not, because they apparently there were showings of this movie at like 2:17 p.m. today. It would have been interesting if it was at 2:17 a.m., but shit, we don't even have midnight releases anymore. But 2:17 p.m. They had showings because like that's the time that's in the movie. But like, well, you watch the movie, and also we're getting the spoilers now. before we get into spoilers, again, I don't know. I don't know how to recommend this movie, but I think you should go watch it for yourself. That's my final say on that. But anyways, yeah, the 217, it's nothing. I mean, like, obviously, it's 217 is such a random time, right? If it was like 2:34, like it could pick. They could have picked any time. It just had to be at night, right? But it's even more silly when you realize the whole reason why the kids are even out and about and being summoned, because that's basically what's happening. It's not even explained. So like the whole thing is like there's this old woman who visits in town and basically manipulates this kid to like she can control people as long as she has something that belongs to them, right? And for some reason, she decides to come to this kid's house and terrorize her niece's family. I think it is because it's the aunt, because she's getting sick, and so apparently the parents don't like. I think the message is like, or not even the message, but the idea is that like she has to like feed on like people's life forces and stuff, right? But they don't even explain that. It's the kid. It's fucking Alex who even suggests the idea, I think, where it's like, I have other people we could bring in. And then the Gladys is like, oh, yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Bring 17 kids into this house, even though everyone has like a Ring doorbell and stuff. And it's so like, there's no way that they wouldn't have known where they went, Also, I think it's crazy that like a big plot point, like Josh Brolin is in this movie and he's good. I like him a lot as an actor. But one day he's like, oh, maybe I should like kind of map out the direction where they went. And it's like, okay, fine. That's like whatever. But I just like, how do you only come to that conclusion like a whole month after? And the Josh Brolin character is like pretty smart and stuff, but it just seems so silly. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm very disappointed because I thought this would have been like a tighter script and stuff, because Barbarian is really good. Barbarian like actually has not only just commentary, but like, it's a commentary on how like women can see red flags in everything and men will just walk over those red flags and just keep on going because that's just how men are. Weapons doesn't have anything to do with that. Like, there's this whole dream where Josh Brolin walks out of the house, sees an AR-15. I'm pretty sure it's an AR-15 just like hovering over the house, and it's like 217 is on it. Like, they really want you to think about 217. But for what? 217 was just a random ass time. And then there, Benedict Wong's character, that scene was pretty crazy, but you kind of knew that was coming. Also, R.I.P. His husband, because it was really cute. I noticed that they were wearing like matching Mickey and Minnie shirts. But yeah, like obviously, you kind of see how Gladys controls them and stuff, and it's like, all right, sure, but in the end, it's like they deduce that, oh, he was running like one of the kids. It was almost like he was a weapon, and that's the only time they use that. Like, I want to compare a moment of this movie to like something that it should have been. There's this moment. It's very, very random, but there's this when I watched The Batman for the first time. Okay, when I watched The Batman with Robert Pattinson. No spoilers, no nothing. I didn't know what was going on. When you get to the point where he's in the Riddler's apartment and he like flips the rug open and he sees like the bombs and stuff laid out and the dam explodes. No, even right before that moment when you realize, holy shit, this, the villain's plan is like absolutely crazy and just diabolical, and then like explosions happen, the water comes in, and I was in shock. I didn't realize, first of all, because the movie was kind of long at that point, but I love it for that. Maybe length has nothing to do with it, but I didn't realize, like, oh my god, we're in the third act now, something is actually going to happen. I mean, no, some things had been happening, but it was just that moment of shock that, like, holy crap, like, there's still, this is what it's all been leading up to, like, literally, yeah, like, the Riddler's plan was leading up to that. In this, it's just, okay, we're just gonna have 17 kids in the basement. something happens where it's like, okay, we need to the cop investigates, and it's like, okay, I guess there's too many people here. There's like a literal cop car outside, so we need like, we need someone to, we need to just move. It just falls apart. It's like they have the cool imagery with the kids just running away, but also like some really weird choices with it, because the trailer is what hooked everyone in. It's just the kids running with the Naruto run. It is a Naruto run, okay? And they're doing like, they're just running in silence. But in the movie, like they show all these kids running with some like, I don't even know what song it was. I don't hate the song or anything, but it was like, why wouldn't you let this moment just play out in silence? Because it's so disturbing. Like get some aerial shots or something, because it's just like, where are they even all going? But there's nothing there. And especially at the end when it just becomes really comical, and I don't like that, because this movie wasn't advertised like that. And like Barbarian has some comedic moments because it's like irony. The whole point about Justin Long, his character going into the house that we saw through the eyes of the protagonist, main character, and he's just like, okay, yeah, this isn't creepy at all. I just need to measure everything, see how much space everything is, because he's so deluded, he's so desperate. There's nothing like that here. It's not ironic humor. It's just, okay, bunch of kids like just chasing an old woman. Why do we not emphasize the weapons part? I think at the very end also the ending is so rushed, but like if they're weapons, I think the idea of them just being completely silent and not like responsive to anything going on would be amazing. Like it would be such a cool effect to be like, obviously like Robert Patrick in Terminator 2, he literally trained to not like blink ever. Well, I mean, to be fair, they're not blinking in this. It's kind of similar to that, actually. I wonder if actually Terminator 2, Robert Patrick, T-1000 was actually inspiration for this, because it would make sense. But you can hear them like breathing like really heavily when they're running and stuff, and it's like, like I don't know. It's just, I know they're human, like nothing happened, but like if we're already going supernatural and stuff, why not take it one step further? I will give it credit. It's not a culty thing. Like I hate movies that like, oh yeah, explained by a cult, and it's like, okay, come on. Like she was a witch. She was just a witch, and I actually thought that was like really interesting, especially because she was working alone and stuff. But like, I don't know, her appearance when she like goes into the principal office and stuff, it's just so like, it's for laughs, right? It's like for comedic purpose, and I'm just like, I don't think that she would do all that makeup if she was trying to be like, you know, inconspicuous and stuff. Because she's smart enough to know, like, okay, they're coming tomorrow, like detectives and stuff. But I don't know. I think the ending, if the kids had just been like dead silent, and they had just been running at, Gladys, and they barely even showed, like, obviously they showed like the legs and stuff. This is the one part I knew that was going to happen, was that like Gladys gets like torn apart by the kids at the end. Um, but like I don't understand, if the kids could do that, why couldn't the mom and dad just tear down that bathroom door and like do something? It's just there's too many questions, and it's just really disappointing, because the beginning of this movie is really cool. It's really unique with like the way it goes through the different characters and what they're thinking and what they're seeing and stuff. And like I love the way that you see a scene from a different angle and stuff, and you realize who did this, who did that. But it just falls apart at the end once you get to Alex, who, by the way, that that child actor is amazing. He's not even amazing, but he's really good. He's really good. And I wouldn't say any performances are bad. It's just like the writing for this, like, there is a story about Jordan Peele. He fired his managers because they lost the bidding war on this script. And I'm just like, first of all, they lost by 7 million. Like, bro, you might as well just spend the extra 7 million. I cannot believe it was only that. Like, to us, that's a lot, obviously. But to these producers and stuff, that's like nothing. That has to be nothing. So I think it's very weird that he fired his producer or his manager for that, because in the end it wasn't that good. Maybe Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions could have done something cool with it, but I don't know. I don't think Zach Cregger is the director, and I think he's the writer too on this. Let me just check real quick. This is the good part. Yeah, Zach Cregger is also the writer on this. So him directing it himself, and then I guess being under the, all right, does Letterboxd not show? Oh, studio. Okay, yeah. Okay, but like Monkey Paw Productions is not here because it's not, yeah, I think that story was probably like, I mean, obviously it happened because if it didn't, then like people would be fact checking and stuff. But I just think that um it's very dramatic and very unnecessary because it wasn't that good. Like it's so disappointing. I'm gonna take a look right now. We're gonna add this to my list because got my ranked list, my movie challenge list, which by the way is just me trying to watch like new movies I've never seen before. We're gonna go to my 2025 ranked right now. This is it. This is all ranked. Um, Let me not fade watch films because all of them are gonna be faded. I don't know where to put this. Like, if I sort this by horror, like, what horror movies have we had this year? You know, we've had. How the fuck is Death of the Unicorn? Death of a Unicorn in here? Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just really disappointing. It's honestly kind of crazy to say like Final Destination Bloodline, blah, Final Destination Bloodlines is by far my favorite movie of this year. It's not even a 5, but it's definitely my favorite just because of like how creative and how like it understood the assignment of like what a Final Destination movie should be. Listeners isn't really horror, but I don't know. Weapons isn't even really that creepy. There's like a couple jump scares in it, which don't make any sense because what the fuck is Gladys like doing in these people's brains and stuff? And she has such an iconic look that I don't understand how she wasn't recorded during like any of the news segments or something that would have gone on during this investigation, right? And then, I don't know. I just think honestly, the more I think about that, because like it was a horror movie, you gotta have scares, but they can't have anything organic. They gotta have creepy clown lady looking like long legs just to pump it up. That just really disappoints me because I thought this was gonna be something else, and just the idea of like maybe if it was like leading up to something, if the kids were actually going to be like if they controlled the whole town maybe or something. It was a little bit scary because it was like, oh my god, is this kind of like, this is like a familiar kind of like neighborhood setting and all that stuff. But it's just like I don't know. It was just so half baked. She literally kidnaps the kids and makes them stand in her basement for what? Like, there's no reason for that. It's just we're gonna be creepy. She just decided I'm gonna mess these kids up. Like, there's so many people. I don't know. I guess it's because her only accomplice was a literal child. Like he couldn't go out into the streets and like, help her kidnap like homeless people or something. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just very whelmed with this movie. I honestly kind of want to give it a 2.5. There are some cool parts. There's a lot of funny parts in this movie actually, but that's not why I went to this movie. I didn't want to see a comedy. I wanted to see something like actually scary and be different. Like, you know what? I think I might actually have to go see Together with freaking Dave Franco and Allison Brie because I don't know. I heard that's horror and stuff, and I don't know. I wouldn't even say horror's doing that great this year, but like people eat shit up. Like a Companion was good. What do I even call it horror? No, it's like more. I don't know. Anyways, this has been going on for long enough. I haven't even talked about like what other things I'm going to review, but this is just like those are the things I was thinking about in this movie, and it kind of just upset me. But yeah, so I don't know. I still want you to go see this movie if you've made it this far, because I think I want to hear your opinion on this. I genuinely like. I'm actually kind of surprised at a 3.9. 3.9 is kind of high considering the kind of crew that's like the crowd that's on Letterboxd these days are very like critical, and no one's on Twitter. And I don't know, film Twitter, like if a movie is disappointing, like how do you have 166 fans? By the way, like Letterboxd has your top 4. A fan is a member with this film as one of their 4 favorites. That does not make any sense to me. So I don't know. This movie did just come out though. Like I think this is the first time I did a review on a movie that actually came out like the same day. Like, so I'm on it. But yeah, I expect to see this rating to go down by a lot. Also, yeah, just to finish up, because we're hitting the 20-minute mark already. Sorry, that's just how long these go, because I'd be rambling. I want to make a July August review or July review because I have seen a lot of movies since the last time we talked. Yes, the Fantastic Four review was kind of a joke. I mean, I literally just came up with it because like I was on a camping trip that weekend and I was like, oh shit, I didn't talk about Fantastic Four even though I thought I was going to, and so I just left it at that. the pickle thing, but I would probably elaborate on it more. Fantastic Four is just kind of a mid movie, to be honest, so I don't really know if we need to talk about it, but I will do the just like a recap because I've been watching like a lot of things. This is just like everything that just came out. But if you look at this, I've been seeing all this stuff. Yes, I watched the Minecraft movie. I watched both Naked Guns, which, by the way, do highly recommend Naked Gun. I think my next video, I want to say, is probably going to be center focused on The Naked Gun, the one that just came out, and Happy Gilmore 2, because those are both examples of comedies that rely on a previous franchise, even though Happy Gilmore should have never been a franchise. I don't know why. I didn't like Happy Gilmore 2, if you couldn't tell. But Happy Gilmore 2 and Naked Gun, I will probably put both in a video if I have the time or whatever. The Superman media, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait until Supergirl comes out next year and then finally do a video on that. But other than that, yeah, I was just Suited for Weapons and kind of upset with it. It didn't change my life, and it really needed to. So I don't even know what's next. What are we even waiting for this year? Like, this is just my watch list, but like, we take a quick look at films. Upcoming. Caught Stealing does look interesting. So half of these movies aren't even. Oh, Running Man. Yes. Okay. But there's nothing. I don't know. I was really excited for this movie, and I don't really think there's anything else. So it's a bit of a shame. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening to the review. What the hell is this? I will talk to you guys later, and please let me know if you agree with me or not. That would be pretty cool. Okay, bye-bye.